3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading, in particular, mystery reading number 1040. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a reoccurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support, as well as your presence during this reading. I do want to start this reading off for somebody who may be feeling a lot of grief or disappointment or frustration. There is this real strong sense of loss. You may even feel like you have been betrayed by the universe, your spirit guides, whatever higher power it is that you may or may not believe in. And it is very human to feel that way. It's okay to feel how you feel. And I think that connecting with your inner child, or just really giving yourself the grace to feel the way that you do, could be comforting. I feel like being harsh towards yourself, sabotaging your future, just makes you feel worse. And you deserve a safe and secure place to just be, you know? Getting into interpreting number 1040. Well, I do want to mention, I will talk about it when interpreting the numbers, but I want to go ahead and say that I do think that your ancestors are really present with you. I think they're always present with you, but I feel that being aware of this could be particularly important at this time. If you're feeling frustrated related to money or family relationships, maybe the way the world works, you could feel unsafe and insecure. And that's why you shouldn't punish yourself for feeling this way, because it's only going to exacerbate these feelings of unsafety and insecurity. I just really, really feel that your ancestors want you to be kind or kinder to yourself. It's almost like they want to validate you in some way. Well, not almost. That is what it does feel like in part. I think they want you to know that how you feel is valid. And it's important for you to know how to use these feelings, this intense energy, in a way that works for you and for the collective, rather than against yourself and is harmful towards others. It is a double-edged sword, and you get to decide how you wield that sword. That is where your power does lie. Wow. And I just looked down the timer and I saw the number 444, which is always connected to ancestors for me. sometimes a message from them to prioritize stability. If you're already focused on that, you're already doing the right thing. You're already doing enough. If not, then, this is encouragement for you to focus on stability. Your ancestors really are present in this reading, in your environment, for you, and you can always ask for their support. For me personally, learning about my family history helped me connect with my family more, even though the relationship or connections that I have with my family members, I'll be honest with you, it's not looking good. I don't want to get too specific because it's a little personal, but learning about my past loved ones that I didn't know in this life and that came before me, whether it was, great-grandparents or, people back in the 1900s, early 1900s, it helps for me. Maybe it could help for you. Let's go ahead and get into interpreting the number 1040 now. The number 1 is about trusting yourself. I think trusting yourself, believing in yourself, will help you feel more secure and more safe, because you might feel then that you have your own back and you have somebody that you can count on, which is yourself. And that really, it can help a lot, knowing that, being able to believe in your own abilities and your own decisions. Being able to trust yourself is really, really important when it comes to feeling safe and secure. The number 0, there are 2 zeros in this number. And that could mean that it's particularly significant for this reading, the meanings that I interpret from this number, which there are a couple of them. The first one is cycles or patterns that you may be noticing within yourself, in your reality, your opportunities, all of it. I think that noticing and analyzing these patterns could give you some real insight that not only empowers you, but also gives you more direction, more security too. So I think it could help you trust yourself more. Maybe these patterns or these cycles have to do with the lack of trust that you have within yourself. I honestly believe that we are the most protected, the most safe, when we trust ourselves, when we believe in ourselves. At least emotionally, mentally, and spiritually safe. The physical reality, it can be different. But still, even if you feel unsafe or insecure in a physical sense, vulnerable physically, trusting and believing in yourself could give you the physical strength. Well, not really give it to you because it's already there, but really, it could really help you know how to step into it, your physical strength. This does feel like it's more focused on your mind, heart, and soul, though. But given that ancestors are present, you could be having money problems, or the environment that you live in is not exactly healthy for you. And as somebody who knows what that's like, sometimes having, this sense of safety and security within myself really helped me feel the same way about my reality, despite the challenges and the things that scared me. And I do think, maybe for somebody it could be helpful to talk about fear in this reading. If you are feeling fear, I encourage you to analyze what it means and what it's trying to tell you. I think it's important to ask yourself if your fear is trying to limit you, keep you small, restricted, or if it's trying to protect you and really genuinely keep you safe. This is either an opportunity to appreciate and be grateful for your fears, for protecting you, or to release the ones that want to keep you small and feeling insecure and unsafe when you're really not. You know, the kind of fear that makes false alarms go off. You know, like our fear, for some reason I wanted to say intuition. Maybe your intuition is also trying to protect you. Like maybe you're already intuitively aware of something about your fear. That made me lose my train of thought. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Let's go ahead and move into the other way that I interpret the number 0, which relationship with yourself, the journey with yourself, that lifelong journey with yourself always runs parallel to any other journey in your life. And it's important to know when to put the relationship that you have with yourself first, when it's time to choose self-respect over self-sabotage. And you could be in a situation where you do feel called to put yourself first, and it's not easy. I think I was actually going to talk about courage when I was talking about fear. That, you know, I say it a lot. What is courage without fear? It's okay if the situation that you're in right now calls for you to be courageous. There are different ways to deal with fear that I have identified, and it's either believing in good outcomes, better possibilities, or believing in your ability to face the not so favorable possibilities. And I encourage you to explore what does work for you when it comes to managing and coping with fear, because you don't deserve to feel consumed or controlled by it. And you don't have to be. You don't have to be. The last number that I want to talk about is number 4, which I already did mention, and is very clear that I mentioned it for good reason previously. With seeing 444, there was confirmation of the significance that I was feeling toward that number, the number 4 in 1040, which we already talked about how it's about stability and your ancestors. And I feel, since I already mentioned it previously, this is just confirmation that your ancestors are present and probably do want to connect with you and support you, whether or not you need them in this lifetime or not. Somebody's ancestors from like thousands of years ago could be trying to connect with them. And I'm saying like cave dwellers and hunter-gatherers, you know? It feels like your ancestors want you to connect with the nature of who you are, the more human side of yourself. The fear of being human. The survival part of life. Let's go ahead and add up these numbers. 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 4 is 5, plus 0 is 5. And 5 is about change and transformation And I definitely think that there could be someone here going through some difficult changes or a difficult personal transformation, but going against the grain is worth it. Being your own force in this world, not letting anyone or anything stand in your way from the trajectory that you want to be on, I mean, that's powerful. You do deserve to be in complete and total control over your life, your decisions, your own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Who you are. You deserve to be able to control how you show up in the world authentically, of course. So, whenever I was choosing cards that I wanted to do for this reading, the first one that I felt drawn to was the Ancestor Spirit Oracle. I always set the cards that I want to use, like over on this side over here, off the screen. And I did feel called to use the Ancestor Spirit Oracle. And, it only added to the significance of the number 4 while I was talking about them. Whoa, the way that this card just flipped over. I'll probably read from the guidebook for this one too. It says, Earth, magic, nature, rituals, and charms. You might feel connected to nature spirits. Let me go ahead and grab the guidebook here. You could really feel called to connect with nature. Actually, this is reminding me of when I said something about connecting with the human side of yourself. There's really something here about connecting more with your physical reality to help you ground yourself, feel more connected, more like you belong and deserve to be here on this planet, in this life, in your current existence, feeling safe and secure. Trying to ABCDEFGHI. Okay, let's go back. There it is. Maybe there's some certain rituals or charms that you feel called to. But this card reads in the guidebook, during the early Anglo-Saxon period, people were not able to read or write, so their history and knowledge were passed on through storytelling. This reminds me of something that I learned recently, and how in ancient Greece, after the fall of the Bronze Age, the Greeks couldn't read or write. So maybe there's something here about ancient Greece for you. I also learned that Western democracy comes from ancient Greece, and that Greece is actually the birthplace of democracy. Maybe you feel called to read more so you can learn more about history, or write more so you can express yourself and really understand yourself better. But as this card is talking about, history and knowledge were passed on through storytelling. They believed in supernatural creatures such as elves, dragons, and invisible lines of power that ran through everything on Earth. Spirits lived in the trees, rocks, mountains, rivers, lakes, oceans, and ponds. In accord with these beliefs, the Anglo-Saxons used charms, symbols, talismans, herbal potions, precious stones, crystals, chants, and spells to protect them. People visited soothsayers, wise women, and cunning men for healing, predictions, potions, spells, and magical items. Cunning folk were highly respected and valued healers in the community. Now, for me personally, do I believe in the same magical practices as the early Anglo-Saxon period? I don't know. But if you do, this could really mean something for you. The Ancestors Speak portion says, take a look at your everyday rituals and charms. Find ways of bringing some magic into your daily routine. Watch the sunrise or dip your toes in the ocean and invite the wonder and healing of nature to your world. At the very least, that is what I feel, that connecting with nature could really help you heal, because it could really just ground you and help you feel connected and really supported and almost like loved, you know? I could definitely be talking to someone who has a very strong relationship with Mother Earth or Gaia, animals, plants, nature. Incorporate ritual into your spiritual practices. Herbs, crystals, or natural remedies may hold an answer for you. So, yeah, you really could be feeling called towards some sort of rituals, nature, or charms. The last part of this says, for the divinatory meaning, learn more about earth and water spirits and how you can connect with their energy in and around your environment. Go to a place in nature that draws you, such as a forest, mountain, river, or the sea. Once you feel you are at the right place, physically protect yourself. Quiet your mind, meditate, and focus on what you feel around you and what you see in your mind's eye. What is your intuition trying to tell you? That doesn't say it in the book. That's a question I'm asking you. I feel that if you connect more with nature in a way that truly resonates with you physically, it'll put you in a state of stillness, that will quiet your mind and make your intuition, your inner voice louder. You don't even have to leave your house. Like you could just listen to some audio or watch a video of nature that you feel connected to. You may be surprised at the nature spirits you sense around you. This card, it may also be prompting you to make a talisman for yourself or to carry a protective crystal with you. So for me, I have this birthday book, and I think a lucky charm for me is somebody who was born in February. I don't know if this would also be for you if you were born in February, but it is a rabbit's foot on a keychain. I'm also thinking of my birthstone, amethyst, when I read about a crystal. So maybe that kind of talisman or that crystal could be significant for you. I'm going to start wrapping up this reading, though, by drawing on a couple of cards from the Prisma Visions Tarot. We're going to get a little more specific with these cards. This one just flew right out. We have the King of Wands, which really gives me this sense of empowerment. This is somebody who is a leader and leads with passion. They really go after what means the most to them and a feeling or a sense of purpose. And I really feel that this is you, or this is the potential of who you could be by connecting more with nature. Or in whatever way, meditation could work too, that helps you really quiet your mind, especially if you're experiencing fear, and better understand, what you feel called to do, say, where you feel called to go, the kind of decisions you feel called to make. This really is a call for you to connect with yourself on a deep and authentic, honest level. This card just flipped on the table. It is the Wheel of Fortune. These cards seem to bring a promising, supportive energy. There's a lot of light here. And then we have the planet here. I'm not sure what symbol that is. It's maybe Saturn or Jupiter. You can look it up if you'd like, but it looks like the number 4 to me. We have this chakra called the solar plexus. This is what the whole card looks like. You have the X at the top, which means the number 10, which is confirmation of the presence of your spirit guides, especially your ancestors really wanting to support you right now. Number 10 is also encouragement for you to really trust yourself. And I think if you could find the quiet and the stillness in a way that works for you, it'll only make it easier for you to trust yourself and believe in yourself. That will help you feel safer. You deserve to feel that way, so you deserve to find the quiet and the stillness that you need to connect with yourself. I saw the number 432 on the timer, which is about trusting that everything happens for a reason. I think that there is something within you that needs to be released that you may have a better chance at understanding by looking, really analyzing it. And like I've been talking about, finding the quiet and the stillness. So that way your inner world is much louder and it's easier to connect with and understand. The Wheel of Fortune on its own is about good luck and good fortune, and you do have the power to bring better outcomes, more security, more safety, healthier relationships in your life. I just really get this magical type of feeling because of this card and your ancestors and your spirit guides in general being really, really present with you. They want you to believe in the light in a potentially dark and uncertain situation. By connecting with the light that already exists within you, I do think more will be revealed to you and give you more knowledge. I think it will help you. I think it will help the unknown be less unknown. The unknown be known. So I do encourage you to connect with yourself, whether it's through nature or rituals, meditation. Connect with your soul and your spirit guides and keep leading or start leading with passion in a way that works for you rather than against you.